Okay, today we're going to be drawing with squares in Illustrator. Here's the assignment. If you click on the link, it will take you to the file that will be downloaded. You click on download, and then your file will appear at the bottom corner. So there's your file, and it'll open up. Your screen should look very similar to mine. Up here, let me go ahead and kind of make these a little bit smaller so we can see it. I'm going to do a Control 0 so you can see the full screen. Let me adjust my screen a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit more. It's not adjusting. Okay. So here's my screen. Here's my line drawings. And today what we're going to be working with is the polygon shape tool here. Here's a rectangle tool. If you click and hold your rectangle tool, it will show the other tools underneath. So this is my rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw with my rectangle tool to make the, let's start with the most difficult one, which will be the dragon. So I'm making a square. Now, this square is a black square with a white fill. I'm going to use my paint drop tool. Let me see if I can make these wider. Let me see. My screen is kind of like really small. So I'm just going to come over and fill it in with a green. Let me switch those out. So it fills in with a green and it makes a black outline. So there we go. So we got a fill in with green and a black outline. Let me make the line thicker. I'm going to use 6 point. So there's my square. If I use my Alt key, the Alt key is right next to the space bar, and I drag, I will make a duplicate of that square. So there's my other square. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So it will then fit here to make the portion of his body. Okay, I'm now going to click with my rectangle tool to get my ellipse tool. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to make sure it has no outline and it's filled with black. Let's fill it with black. I'm going to drag it and maybe make it a little bit smaller there. Now I'm going to make the little circle that goes underneath. And this one, I'm going to make sure it's filled with a pink. So let's go with a pink color here. So now we have the pink little circle and the eye. I could redraw those again. Or I could simply click on them both. And if you click on this tool here, which is the rotate tool, click on underneath, it's reflect. If I alt click, it will bring up the preference here. So here's the preference tool. So do you want it to vertically reflect it, horizontally reflect it, which will make it go up and down? We want it to vertically reflect so it does the other side. But we want the originals there. So to keep the original, you say copy. So now you have both sides of that face. Now all I have to do is get your brush tool and come draw a nice little smile and then fill that in with black. Oops. So if you select it, you can then change the color to black. So that's a good portion of our dragon so far. Now I'm going to go back with my rectangle tool. I'm going to make sure that it has a stroke of 6, just like my other ones. And I'm going to fill it in with an orange color. Maybe a brighter orange, like that. Okay. So now that I have this with a brighter orange, let me get the size that I want and the thickness. So, and how I want it to then rest. I'm going to drag it. I'm going to drag it with the Alt click. So when I dragged it with an Alt click, it made a copy. I could drag it again with the Alt click, or I could just click on Control D. It now made a copy. I'm going to drag it again, and I'm going to rotate it to the other side. And now I'm going to drag it down. Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. And now they're all there. Let me move that a little bit more. I'm going to select all of my orange here and all my orange here with my selection tool. I'm going to right click and go arrange, send to back. So now I just made the quilt, the humps of the dragon. I'm going to use the same thing, drag it down, maybe stretch it out a little bit more, and I'm going to make sure that it's filled with the same green color. So is that the green color? That's the green color. There we go. The same green color. So there's his tail. I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to rotate it. And now I'm going to make a rotation, make another one here and rotate it this way. And I'm going to make a copy of that. And I'm going to make sure that they're all aligned to the bottom. And let's go. View. Window. Align. So they're all going to align to the bottom. And boom. So I want the bottom point portions to actually be aligned that way. It almost looks like it's going to be a flower. How pretty. And now I'm going to use my Pathfinder tool here, window, and let's drag down to Pathfinder. And I'm going to combine all of them, combine. And that made my foot, and I'm just going to make it smaller. Not that small. And there's one foot, and bring it to the front, arrange, bring to front, and now Alt click and drag another foot, and I just drew my dragon. That's simple, huh? Okay, so all I did was I actually used my polygon tools to make the shapes and copy them and copy them and copy them and rearrange them by making things go to the front and the back, recoloring them with my actual swatches there. So you're going to pick your swatches with color that you want. You're going to make sure that you fill in with the right color, and that you also make sure that your lines are all the same point size. That's what really makes the drawing, is that all the lines are 6 points. When you have that consistency, it really looks, you can really tell. So these are things that I'm going to be looking for, is that you have the consistency, that you have the color, and that you're able to make the simple shapes with the polygon tool here and rearrange them. So thanks for watching. Let me go ahead and close this.